You wake up one morning, and something feels off. You're standing in the kitchen, holding a cup of tea, and you can't for the life of you remember why you walked in there in the first place. You check your pockets for your reading glasses, gone. You retrace your steps, check the bathroom, the bedroom, the living room. Nothing. Then you find them, sitting quietly on your forehead. You laugh it off, "Oh, I'm just getting older." But inside, there's a little whisper. What if this isn't normal? What if this is the beginning of something worse? Let's be honest, aging comes with its quirks. A few more aches in the morning, a nap that turns into 2 hours, forgetting names, mixing up medications, feeling tired even when you haven't done much at all. And it's easy to shrug these things off. To think, that's just life after 60. But what if I told you, it doesn't have to be? What if there's one simple thing, just one, that you could start doing today, that could protect your memory, strengthen your heart, lower your cancer risk, and add years, not just to your life, but to your energy, your clarity, your joy? Sounds too good to be true, right? But I promise you, it's real. It's backed by research. And it's something you already know how to do, you just haven't been told how powerful it truly is. Here's the thing, after 60, your body changes faster than you can see. Your brain, your blood vessels, your immune system, they're all working overtime just to keep up. But there's a habit so simple, so natural, and so overlooked, that doing it every day could literally change the rest of your life. In this video, we're going to explore this one daily habit, and how it holds the power to push back against memory loss, fight off cancer cells, keep your heart ticking strong, and help you feel like you again. And no, it's not a pill, it's not a supplement, and it's definitely not some fancy new health trend. It's something your body craves. You just need to remember how to give it. So if you've ever looked in the mirror and wondered how much time you have left, or if you've ever felt like your best years are slipping away, this video is for you. Comment below, just type, "I'm ready for change," if you want to protect your mind and your health after 60. And don't forget to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. Because here, we believe aging isn't the end, it's the beginning of something wiser, something stronger, and something deeply meaningful. Let's get into it. Let me introduce you to Harold. Harold is 72. For most of his life, he wasn't really the active type. He worked long hours, loved reading, enjoyed his recliner, and cherished quiet evenings with his wife. But everything changed when she passed. The house became too quiet. The days felt longer. The loneliness? Heavy. One morning, without thinking much of it, Harold slipped on his shoes and took a walk around the block. Just something to do. Just to fill the silence. No plan. No goal. Just one slow lap, with his hands in his pockets and a mind full of memories. But something happened that day. He felt lighter. Not in his body, but in his spirit. So, the next morning, he walked again. Then again the next day. And slowly, something remarkable began to unfold. A year later, Harold's doctor was shocked. His blood pressure had dropped to a healthy range, without a single new medication. He'd lost weight, not a lot, but enough to ease the pressure on his knees. His memory had improved, he no longer struggled to recall names or mix up his pills. And most importantly, he smiled more. He felt alive again. You see, what started as a way to escape the quiet, became the habit that brought Harold back to himself. And this isn't just Harold's story. Walking, yes, simple walking, might be the single most underrated form of medicine we have today. Especially after 60. It boosts blood circulation, which means more oxygen and nutrients delivered straight to your brain. That's essential for memory, focus, and clarity. It strengthens your heart, lowers blood pressure, and balances blood sugar. It reduces inflammation, one of the root causes of cancer, stroke, and even Alzheimer's. And the best part? It naturally increases your body's production of endorphins, the feel-good chemicals that help fight anxiety and depression. So, when you hear people say, "It's just walking," smile. Because just walking might be the reason Harold is now enjoying his mornings again, attending community events, remembering birthdays, and walking farther than he ever thought he could. Now, here's what often holds people back: they think it's too late. They believe walking doesn't count. They assume they need a gym membership or a personal trainer to get real results. But here's the truth: studies from Harvard, the Mayo Clinic, and other top research centers all say the same thing: walking consistently, even at a gentle pace, can drastically reduce your risk of age-related disease. Not only is it effective, it's accessible. You don't need equipment. You don't need perfect weather. You don't need to be fit. You just need to take the first step, and then take another tomorrow. So how do you start? You don't need to walk a mile. Start with 10 minutes. Walk around your garden. Do a few laps down your hallway. Stroll to the end of your street and back. Or take a friend, your spouse, or even your grandchild with you. Some of the best walks are the ones filled with conversation and laughter. The key isn't how fast you walk. It's not how far. It's that you walk, every single day. Because every step forward is a step toward better health, a clearer mind, and a stronger heart. And speaking of the mind, walking doesn't just help you physically. It's what it does to your brain that's truly extraordinary. Let's talk about Gloria. She's 68 now. For years, she lived with this quiet fear tucked in the back of her mind. You see, her older sister was diagnosed with Alzheimer's at 71. It started with little things, forgetting names, misplacing objects, but it progressed quickly. Within a few years, her sister didn't recognize her own children. Gloria watched helplessly as someone she loved faded into a fog. And she wondered, will that be me someday? But Gloria didn't wait to find out. She decided to make a small change. Nothing extreme, no expensive programs or complicated routines. She just started walking. Every morning after breakfast, she'd head to the park near her house. Nothing fancy, just 20 minutes. Sometimes slower, sometimes brisk, but always consistent. She called it her thinking time. 2 years later, Gloria sat for a memory test, just a routine checkup during her annual physical. Her results? She scored higher than she had in her early 50s. Let that sink in. Not only had her memory not declined, it had actually improved. And there's a reason for that. A powerful one. You see, when you walk, something incredible happens in your brain. Physical activity, especially steady, rhythmic movement like walking, actually increases the size of your hippocampus, the part of the brain that controls memory and learning. It strengthens the neural connections between brain cells. It slows down shrinkage, which naturally happens as we age. And it boosts neuroplasticity, that's the brain's ability to form new connections, new pathways, and even repair itself. Yes, repair. Even after 60. And it's not some new trend or vague theory. It's been backed by brain imaging studies and long-term research. People who walk regularly show better memory, faster thinking, sharper focus, and a lower risk of dementia, including Alzheimer's. Now, here's where many people get it wrong. They think memory loss is just part of getting older. They think, well, of course I'm forgetting things, I'm not 30 anymore. But here's the truth, while some mild forgetfulness is natural, a lot of what we accept as normal aging is actually preventable. And in some cases, even reversible. We don't lose memory simply because of the number on our birthday cake. We lose it because our brains stop getting the stimulation and blood flow they need to thrive. That's where walking comes in. So how do you get the most brain-boosting benefits from your walk? Try this, add a little mental activity along the way. Count your steps. Notice the colors of the houses you pass. Try to recall the names of flowers you see. Listen to an audiobook or talk with a walking partner. Challenge your brain while you move your body. It's like a double workout for your mind. And here's something even more powerful: walk somewhere new every now and then. New routes force your brain to pay attention, to process new information, to adapt. It's like giving your brain a fresh puzzle every day. Because the brain, like a muscle, needs to be worked to stay strong. So, the next time you feel that fog rolling in, the "why did I come in here again" moments, the missing words, the mental fatigue, don't panic. Just walk. It might seem simple. But sometimes, the simplest things are the most powerful. Now let's talk about something most people are afraid to even mention out loud. Cancer. It's a word that stops conversations. A diagnosis that shakes families. And a fear that many quietly carry, especially as the years go by. Let me tell you about John. John is 74 now. 10 years ago, he was diagnosed with colon cancer. He went through treatment, surgery, chemo, the works. It was rough, and it took a lot out of him. But he made it through. After his final treatment, his doctor told him something he never expected to hear. "John, you've got about a 40% chance this comes back. But I want you to start walking. Every day." John was confused. Walking? That's it? No pills? No complicated regimens? But the doctor was serious. And so, John listened. Every morning, John got up before the sun and walked. Sometimes just to the end of the street. Some days around the block. Slowly, day by day, his energy returned. His legs felt stronger. His breathing improved. And with each step, he started to feel like himself again. Fast forward a decade, John is still walking, and he's still cancer-free. Now you might wonder, how can something as ordinary as walking have that kind of power? Here's what's happening inside your body. When you walk, you're doing more than just moving your legs. You're regulating your hormones, especially insulin and estrogen. Two major players linked to cancer growth, especially in the colon, breast, and prostate. You're reducing chronic inflammation, which is one of the silent roots of cancer. It damages cells over time and creates the perfect environment for disease to grow. You're also boosting your immune system. A stronger immune system means your body can recognize and destroy abnormal cells before they become dangerous. So, while walking might seem simple, inside your body, it's a symphony of protection. But here's the catch: most people don't believe it. They think cancer prevention requires extreme diets, expensive supplements, or long hours at the gym. And yes, those things can help, but walking? That's accessible. That's free. And science says it works. In fact, studies show that people over 60 who walk regularly have a 30% to 40% lower risk of developing certain cancers. That's not wishful thinking. That's evidence. And this doesn't mean you have to power walk for an hour in the heat. Here's what you can do instead: choose shady areas if it's sunny. Early mornings or evenings are best when it's cooler. Wear comfortable, supportive shoes. You're not racing, you're restoring. And don't go it alone if you don't want to. Invite your spouse, a neighbor, your grandchild, or a friend. Turn your daily walk into a ritual, a moment to reconnect and breathe. Those conversations might end up healing you just as much as the movement does. It's not about speed. It's not about distance. It's about showing up, for your body, for your future, and for your peace of mind. Now, we've talked about memory. We've talked about cancer. But there's something else walking touches, something absolutely critical to your survival: your blood vessels. Let me tell you about Betty. Betty is 79 years old, and every morning, without fail, she walks around her block. Twice. Rain or shine. Even on the cold days, she just grabs a scarf, wraps it around her chin, and off she goes. Now, Betty isn't trying to break any records. She's not out there to lose weight or impress the neighbors. She walks because it makes her feel alive. At her last doctor's appointment, her physician reviewed her test results, raised his eyebrows, and smiled. He told her something that surprised even her: "Your arteries look younger than your age." You see, every time Betty walks, she's not just exercising her legs, she's giving her blood vessels a workout too. And that matters more than you might think. Your blood vessels, your arteries and veins, are the highways that carry oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and life to every single part of your body. From the tips of your fingers to the depths of your brain, everything depends on healthy circulation. But over time, especially after 60, those vessels can stiffen. Plaque builds up. Blood flow slows. And silently, the risks begin to rise: high blood pressure, heart attacks, strokes, even vascular dementia. That's where walking comes in. It lowers LDL, or bad cholesterol, the sticky stuff that clogs up your arteries. It raises HDL, or good cholesterol, the kind that sweeps away the junk and keeps your system clean. It improves circulation, keeping blood moving smoothly through your veins, delivering what your body needs, and whisking away what it doesn't. And perhaps most importantly, it helps your blood vessels stay flexible. Yes, flexible. Because when your vessels lose their flexibility, pressure builds. And when that pressure builds for too long, that's when the real damage begins. But walking? Walking gently conditions your arteries to expand and contract like they're supposed to. It keeps your system flowing, calm, steady, balanced. Now, here's the part people often misunderstand. They think heart disease can only be reversed with pills or procedures. They wait until something breaks before they fix it. But the truth is, movement is medicine. And prevention is powerful. Even a short walk after meals can make a big difference. Why? Because after you eat, your blood sugar rises. If it spikes too high, too fast, it damages your blood vessels, especially the tiny, delicate ones in your heart, your eyes, and your brain. But walking? Just 10 to 15 minutes after eating? It helps your body process sugar more efficiently. It keeps those spikes gentle. And over time, it protects you from diabetes, vascular complications, and silent heart damage. It's such a small act, for such massive impact. So, the next time you push your chair back from the dinner table, don't head for the couch. Grab your shoes. Take a stroll. Invite someone to join you. Talk about your day. Breathe in the evening air. You're not just walking off a meal. You're walking toward a stronger heart, cleaner vessels, and a longer life. And now, as we've explored what walking does for the body, the brain, the heart, and even cancer, let's tie it all together. Because there's one final gift walking gives you that often goes unnoticed. It's not found in a lab test. You can't measure it in a chart. But for many people, it's the difference between getting through the day and loving it. Now let's talk about something you won't find on a medical chart. Not a number. Not a symptom. But it weighs just as heavily as any diagnosis. Loneliness. Sadness. That quiet feeling of disappearing from the world, even when you're still in it. Let me tell you about Frank. Frank is 81 years old. A proud man, quiet but kind. Over the last few years, he lost 3 of his closest friends, some to illness, some to time, some just drifted away. His wife passed a few years back, and his adult children live in another state. The house felt cold. The days felt long. He stopped answering the phone. He sat in silence a lot. Meals didn't taste the same. Life felt like it was slowly folding in on itself. But one morning, his daughter called and said gently, "Dad, please go outside. Just for 10 minutes. For me." So, Frank did. He put on his jacket and walked to the small park near his neighborhood. No plan, just steps. He sat on a bench for a while. Watched a few birds. Listened to the rustling trees. The next day, he went again. And again the day after. Within a couple of weeks, something unexpected happened. He met a man about his age. Then another. A woman walking her dog smiled and said, "Good morning, stranger." Soon, these small moments turned into small conversations, and those became friendships. Fast forward to today, Frank still walks that same path. But now, he doesn't walk alone. He laughs. He shares stories. And that heavy cloud that once hung over him? It's lifted. He's not just surviving anymore. He's living again. You see, walking doesn't just heal the body, it restores the soul. When you walk, your body releases dopamine and serotonin, natural chemicals that lift your mood, calm your nerves, and brighten your day. It also lowers cortisol, the stress hormone that builds up quietly, especially when we're feeling isolated or overwhelmed. These are the same chemicals many antidepressants aim to balance, but your body already has the tools. Sometimes, all it needs is a little movement to turn the key. And yet, so many people believe that feeling lonely, down, or disconnected in later life is just the way it is. They assume that once the kids move out, once the partner is gone, once the noise settles, the silence is inevitable. But it doesn't have to be. Movement brings connection. Connection brings joy. And joy, real joy, can return at any age. So, here's something you can try right now: find a walking buddy. Maybe it's a neighbor, a grandchild, someone from your church or community center. Join a local walking group. Yes, they exist, and many are designed just for seniors looking to stay active and social. Or if you prefer solitude, walk at sunrise. There's something deeply healing about starting your day with light on your face and fresh air in your lungs. That quiet time becomes a moment to center yourself before the world wakes up. And here's something else: when you walk regularly, you sleep better. You feel more in control. You begin to look forward to your day, not just get through it. Because walking is more than movement. It's rhythm. It's purpose. It's proof that you're still here, and that you still matter. So, if you've been feeling disconnected, restless, or just flat, don't wait for someone to knock on your door. Put on your shoes. Open the door. And start walking back toward yourself. Because sometimes, the path out of darkness isn't a straight line. It's a quiet circle around the block. One step at a time. And now that we've uncovered how this one habit transforms your mind, your heart, your body, and your spirit, let's bring it all together with something deeper, something emotional. Because understanding the why behind these changes is one thing. But accepting them, and doing something about it, is where the real power begins. It's one of the hardest things in life, to watch someone you love slowly fade. Maybe it's your father who can't remember where he placed the keys. Maybe it's your mother who once danced barefoot in the kitchen, now moving slowly with a walker. Or maybe, it's you. Feeling like time is stealing pieces of your energy, your sharpness, your confidence, bit by bit. And in those moments, it's easy to feel helpless. Easy to believe the lie that decline is inevitable. That aging is a slow surrender. But what if it doesn't have to be? What if the future wasn't shaped by what's already happened, but by what you start doing now? Just imagine this: one habit. A simple, quiet act. Done every day, not for perfection, not for performance, but for presence. Walking. It sounds so ordinary. But it's within that very simplicity that its power lives. You see, walking is more than a health habit. It's a signal, to your body, to your brain, to your heart, that you're still here. That you're not done yet. That life still has more for you to feel, to explore, to give. When we walk, we reclaim something. Not just strength in our legs or oxygen in our lungs, but hope. Hope that change is possible. Hope that vitality isn't just for the young. Hope that the story isn't over yet. And if you've ever looked in the mirror and wondered, is this it? Is this all that's left? Let me tell you something, it's not. You are not powerless. You are not too old. You are not past the point of growth, healing, or joy. The habit of walking is your way back to control. Your way back to you. So tomorrow morning, before the distractions begin, before the excuses creep in, put on your shoes. Step outside. Take a walk. Start small. Start slow. But start. Let each step remind you that you are capable. Let each breath tell you that your body still works, still listens, still responds to love and attention. Let the morning light remind you that new days still belong to you. Because here's the truth that too many forget, your body is not broken. It's wise. It's been through storms, yes, but it hasn't given up on you. It wants to move. It wants to heal. It wants to serve you well for as long as you allow it to. And aging isn't a curse. It's a chapter, one that can be filled with meaning, strength, and radiant peace. You just have to walk into it, one step at a time. So, let's recap what we've uncovered today. A daily walk, yes, just walking, can improve your memory, reduce your risk of cancer, protect your heart, strengthen your blood vessels, and bring light back into your emotional life. It's free. It's simple. And it's waiting for you. Have you felt these benefits? Or do you know someone, a grandparent, a neighbor, a friend, who transformed their health through walking? We'd love to hear your story. Scroll down and share it in the comments. Your words might be the spark that helps someone else take their very first step. And if this video resonated with you, if it helped you feel more hopeful, more informed, more empowered, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell so you never miss a gentle nudge, a new discovery, or a life-giving reminder. Here at Elderly Wisdom Guide, we're not just sharing tips. We're building a community. One that honors aging as a gift. One that says, we walk this path together. So thank you for spending this time with us. You're not alone. You're not invisible. You're not done growing. Remember this, aging isn't about slowing down, it's about walking forward with purpose. So stay healthy, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.